We all love seeing trucks go down the road just because they mean so many things. I mean, and really it's the power, but for the most part, it's work getting done. Now, there's a few trucks out there that we don't like to see going down the road, like fire trucks, ambulances, because that means someone's probably having a bad day. If you're that someone, being on the receiving end of that truck, as soon as you see that truck, it's a big relief. Well, we've got a truck like that. It's not a fire truck or an ambulance. What is it? Well, right after the intro, we're going to talk about it. Thanks for tuning in this week, guys. It is Josh with His Son Group, and this was probably not the truck that you were expecting. Probably glad of that. This isn't even a Kenworth. I mean, it's got Kenworth logos all over it, but it is not a Kenworth. So why are we going to talk about this today? Well, this, as I mentioned, is one of those vehicles that you never like to see out there on the road because you realize someone else is having a bad day. But if it's coming to help you, this is exactly the vehicle that you want to see. No, this is a bit different. I'm kind of excited to go over it. We're going to talk about some of the things that the truck has inside of it and why you may want to call the roadside assistance, besides the fact that you're on the side of the road and need assistance. So let's do a little bit of B-roll of this thing. We're going to start talking about it. So with this truck being a bit different, we're going to do maybe a slightly different video. It's a 2500 Chevy. I don't really think I need to go into many details. It's four-wheel drive. It's a pickup truck. Pretty sure you guys have seen thousands of them. But what makes this one special is what's back here. So that's where we're going to focus most of our time at today, because really, what makes this any different than any other road service truck? At the very end, we're really going to go into it, but right now, let's talk about what we got in the back. Now, as a company that sells trucks, none of us like to admit that breakdowns happen, but they do. And whether it just be something wears out or something lets go or whatever, it does tend to happen at the most inconvenient time. Because after all, if you're not using it, stuff doesn't break. You are using it, well, eventually something's going to wear out. And that's where this truck comes in, because it's typically, as I said, the most inconvenient time possible is when stuff is going to break. And that's why we keep all sorts of fittings, hoses, clamps, everything like that on board. Let's say you lose an airline. We've got those there also. Brake chamber issue? Well, those are here in the back. I don't know if the camera can see it or not, but they're in there, trust me. Having access to stuff like that out on the road is a huge time and money saver. And really, that's, once again, why we're all in this, is to time and money, correct? So if you break something and you're out on the road, rather than paying for an expensive tow bill, why not just have us come to you? Because this truck runs a heck of a lot cheaper than a tow truck will. So as we take a look at the flip side of the truck, we've got some air tools and that in there. Got some of the technician's tools here, and a few more in here. Now, he actually had to take some out of his truck because there's a truck in the shop that he's working on right now, so it's not necessarily full, but you get the idea of what he's got in there. Now what's interesting about it, if you noticed, all the tools are on this side. For the most part, all the parts are on that side. Well, they do that on purpose because when you're alongside the road, you're going to be back and forth for a lot of tools. And I'd much rather be on the off side of the road rather than standing in the middle of the road when I'm making trips back and forth. It's just another thing where we've thought these types of things through and make sure they work the best and safest for the application. Now, there's still more to it because you see both of these boxes up here and there's some stuff in the bed. So let's hop up there and take a look and see what we got there. So in the back of the truck here, there's once again everything you'd expect. And the nice thing is fluids and stuff like that are up here. And we all know that's typically hose, belt, water pump, something of that nature that's going to go bad when you're out on the road. So having the proper fluids along is just one extra help for you. The fact that we know that they're the proper fluids because they're TRP or PACCAR fluids, that makes sure that your warranty is going to continue onwards. And speaking of warranties, any repair that you get roadside carries the same warranty as if you got it done in the shop. It's a couple of extra points for this. Now, in here we've got some of the technicians' other miscellaneous stuff. Over here we've got a jump box because you never know when a battery is gonna, Back here we've got a gas-powered air compressor for air tools to air up air lines, whatever we need to do. Air does a lot of stuff for you. Over here we have hats for the technicians. Maybe they're safety codes. I forget. Now, something else that I mentioned about having all the fluids and filters and stuff like that here on board. Let's say you need a preventative maintenance done in your truck. You've got a 36-hour reset. You can't really go anywhere. Why not have us come to you? We can take care of it for you while you're right there. And that's, once again, less downtime for you. If you've already got to be down and sitting there, why not invite this truck out to make sure your truck's happy for another couple of million miles? It's these types of things that can make all the difference in your business, help push things forward that much faster for you. So I've covered most of what we've got in terms of tools in the bed and everything like that. But there's one more key piece of equipment that we have that we haven't talked about yet. Bill. Now, you may not necessarily get Bill, but you will get a certified Kenworth factory trained technician. And that's one of the key things that makes us different. So I had to let Bill go back to doing what Bill does because trust me, you do not want me working on your truck for you. Just take my word on it. But really, Bill and the other guys that do this with us, they are the big difference. They are factory trained, certified Kenworth technicians. They've got a load of experience in the shop, which makes sure that when you're out on the road, they know what they're looking for. On top of that, as trucks become more complex, they get more different, I guess I would say. They become more specific. Kenworth trucks now are far different than the competition trucks of yesteryear. It used to be before, if you had a truck, for the most part, it was all the same parts with a different cab. Now with all the systems on them, there's much more Kenworth specific stuff. We can handle all that for you. Doesn't necessarily need to be Kenworth either. There's another company that I'm not going to say their name, but really we can handle all that stuff that most of the other shops just can't deal with. And that's because we've got this logo here on the door. To me, that is a huge difference, and that is the number one reason why you want to give us a call. On top of that, as I mentioned before, any repairs that you get done are fully warranted. It's no different than if you got them done in the shop. There's the warranty behind it to back it up. Something else that's worth mentioning in all this is we come to you. If you don't have time, maybe you're at a truck stop for a while, got a reset, whatever. Why not get your preventative maintenance done? Why not get your DOT inspection done? All those items can get done where you are. You don't have to worry about bringing the truck here. That is a big bonus. And that is actually where the roadside assistance can pay for itself very quickly. With all that being said, I'm sure you guys have some questions for me. Do me a favor, throw them in the comments below. I'm going to do my best to answer them. I'll probably call Bill a couple of times and see what he says too. On top of that, if you like this, do me a favor, give me the thumbs up. If you don't like it, thumbs down twice as always. Stay safe, keep your rubber side down. I will catch you guys on the flip side. I'm going to take Bill his truck back because I think he wants it.